And we welcome you to our finale here of our PSCL coverage here on the PSCL YouTube. I'm Sam Egan, thanking you for joining me wherever you are watching. And for our final game here, it's the Haymakers, it's the Chill. Should be an exciting one here. The Chill have been playing some really good baseball as of late, and as have the Haymakers in their last 3 games or so. Brett Casse, the long-haired left-hander, towing the slab here today for the Chill. Casse's first pitch is fired in for a ball. Beautiful day here in Palm Springs. Rare to see some clouds in the sky, but we're getting exactly that here today, causing some humidity. So the baseball was really carrying out here for the afternoon game yesterday. 2 home runs, both hit by the Blue Sox. There's Isaac Imamura and Michael Salser, who played it across the 2 long balls, both to left field with the right-handed bat. That's especially rare. The leadoff hitter here in Corselman, going to be tough to do any damage. If you don't get anything in the strike zone, he's already ahead 3-0. Jacob Corselman, the shortstop, and he's been a mainstay at the top of the lineup, and he thought he just had a leadoff walk, but he'll have to get his bat back. After tossing it back towards the dugout, his 3-0 pitch was called a strike. Now 3-1 is popped up in the air, routine, and that'll be caught. For out number 1, a can of corn to start this one. It's Cameron Washington out there making the catch in center field. Let's meet the rest of this Chill defense. The rest of the outfield consists of Baker in left field. Now in right will be Watkins. The first pitch after an extended pause is hard and a little bit high, ball 1. So some trouble with command, but nothing too daunting as of yet on the mound for Casse. Now the infield from left to right is it's a big cut and a miss from strike 2 for John Guerrero. Connor Freeze will be at third base. Luke McCarthy at the shortstop position. Wave and miss, strike 2, and now it's 1-2 to Guerrero. Buck over at second base. Amari Quinn is over at first. It's Flynn behind the dish, and as mentioned, Casse on the bump for the Chill. Ahead 1-2, and he gets a ground ball over to the shortstop and fielded cleanly and well in time to get Guerrero for out number 2. So quickly, 2 up and 2 down, and a nice play from McCarthy to get the second out of the inning. Fly out now a 6-3. So it hasn't been overwhelming stuff so far from Casse, but he's been getting weak contact. Sometimes those quick outs, especially for starters, is sometimes what you'd rather have, so your starter can have more longevity as opposed to those strikeout guys who, yes, throw a lot of strikeouts, but also throw a lot of pitches, and in turn, that can turn to shorter outings. 1-0, Gene Bianco at the plate here. To avoid having his team go down in order. Takes a nice slider on the outside portion of the plate, 1-1. Still some clouds here, which is abnormal here for beautiful Palm Springs Stadium. That one hit towards the Chill dugout, excuse me. Now 1-2. Bianco playing his 9th game of the season, takes ball 2. Out of Mercer County Community College. It's down a 348 average, a 385 OBP. Only had 2 walks on the year. His 26 plate appearances, and starting to see why, as he has a great eye for the strike zone, and he's great at putting bat to ball, so usually it leads to contact, and while it's not perfect contact every time, leads to fewer strikeouts, but also fewer walks. Only 4 strikeouts on the year for Bianco. The lower strikeout rates across the PSCL. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs, and 2-2s fired in outside, 3-2. Nice long at bat for Bianco. Haymakers lost 17-3 in their last time out in yesterday's ball game. Now, payoff pitches popped in the infield. Going to be a tough play and will drop foul. So we'll do the payoff pitch once more. On Wednesday. Was that Wednesday? Oh, I'm losing track of my days of the week. I'm sorry, on Sunday. The 13-1 win over the Grizzlies. It was all Haymakers and especially all Bianco. Had a home run in that ball game, 3 RBIs. Was his second home run of the season. So definitely some thunder in that bat for Bianco, but he'll take a breaking ball downstairs for ball 4. So yesterday in the afternoon game, 2-out rallies were the key for both sides. 11 of the first 13 runs in the ball game scoring with 2 outs. That's the Haymakers looking for some 2-out magics of their selves. The right fielder Miles Washington at the plate. Washington, the team leader in at-bats. Gets a quick result here. Ground ball over the second baseman. And that'll be the inning. So a 2-out walk, but doesn't do any damage other than that. A good start to the outing for Akase, and he'll hope he can get some run support from his offense when we get back here on the PSCL YouTube channel.
The Management Trust is a 100% employee-owned company. Every employee has a vested interest in providing memorable experiences to every homeowner and board members of HOAs. It's a very powerful thing. No homeowners association is too small or too large for us to manage. From community maintenance services to customized absentee home care, the Management Trust provides just about every service any homeowner could ask for.
Hi, I'm Damien with the Management Trust. We're a community management built differently for your homeowners association. To find out how, give me a call.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Quality first. It's quite a philosophy to live by. But world-class ingredients are the foundation of great meals. And we wouldn't have it any other way. At Kaiser Grill in downtown Palm Springs, we believe you deserve the best. So whether it's dinner for 2 or a celebration with 200 friends, quality is our promise to you. Because quality is king. Quality is Kaiser.
Bottom half of the first, Chill looking to strike first in this ball game. It's a pair of southpaws. Starting for each side, and the southpaw over here for the Haymakers, Tyler Kennedy. Towing the slab and looking to replicate what Kase had in the first inning, and that was a 0. Tyler Kennedy, this is 4th appearance. All starts for him. But they've been abbreviated starts, but in the PSCL, he's had to go to the distance that's qualified him for a win in 2 of those starts. He went exactly 4 innings and got the win against the North Stars. That in a 10-5 victory on June 11th, and on June 16th when his next outing came around, went 4 to third, got the loss in the 19-5 loss to the Coyotes, had 7 runs, all of those earned. And then finally in his last outing against the Grizzlies, did not qualify for the win, but was stellar in that appearance. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run. Didn't walk anybody in that appearance, but did have 2 hit by pitches. He's definitely capable of piling together strikeouts. Didn't have any in his 2-inning appearance last time, but 4 in the previous start and 3 in his opening start. As that one is ground down the line, fair ball. It's going to be likely a leadoff extra base hit as it's going to carry him into the corner. Baker rounding second. He's thinking about 3. He's going to extend for it and get in with the slide. A leadoff triple to left field. How often do you see that? All of a sudden, the go-ahead run standing 90 feet away thanks to Baker's wheels. To put a bow on Kennedy. 2 of his 3 outings has only given up 1 run. His lone blemish and why his ERA is standing at nearly an 8 is that 7-run appearance that came in 4 to 3rd inning against that loss against the Coyotes. The only time Haymakers have lost when Kennedy has taken the mound was in that ball game against the Coyotes. He's got a solid 1.35 whip too as well. Already in some early inning trouble after the leadoff triple from Baker as first pitch taken downstairs for ball 1. It's Jackson Watkins. Already behind 0-2 here. Barstow Community College product. Only 2 hits for him on the season and 13 at-bats. Had a good round of BP today as he swings and misses at strike 3. Warranted himself a promotion in the lineup because they felt he's gotten into some rotten luck. Had a good round of BP today. But unfortunately, goes down swinging right there, and still standing 90 feet away is David Baker, but still an opportunity for him to be driven into nearly any facet. It'll be up to Buck to pick him up. Cam Buck out of Dakota State University. 3-game hit streak for Buck. He's had 4 RBIs in the last 2 games. As now that's a balk. The run will score. That's the opening run of the game. Coming around on a balk. So now Buck looking to start a new rally as the Chill grab the lead 1-0. Chill have won 4 in a row, looking to make it 5 here. Haymakers standing at 3-7. Game 1 earlier today on our YouTube channel, in case you missed it. Perhaps the biggest upset of the PSL season to date. The Lumberjacks go down for the first time to the second place Bombers, who now stand at 8-3 and have won 5 games in a row. So don't look now. Just when everyone thought it was going to be Lumberjacks versus the world and nobody else was really going to compete, blink and you may have missed, as that one's a high chopper base hit. Buck indeed looking to start a new rally of his own, gets a base hit. 1 on, 1 out. For the cleanup man and Amari Quinn. Bombers now standing game and a half out of first place. And they'll need some help, or they'll need to beat that Lumberjacks team again. Still a lot of season left. not nearly halfway through. This could be another one of these teams, the Chill, who have been playing fantastic baseball as of late, who can put the league on notice and surprise some people come July. Quinn, the first baseman in this ball game, already behind 0-1. Pickoff move to no avail, and the 0-1 offering will have to be done once more with not much of an effect on that pickoff move. Quinn out of Xavier University of Louisiana. As there's a balk called once more, so disregard the pitch, and the second balk already of the inning. So Kennedy having some trouble with the motion has given away 2 free base runners. 8 RBIs on the year for Quinn. That ties him for the team lead. As he'll fly out to right field. Buck tagging his way over to third base, and 2 away. And in order to tack on the second run of the game, it'll be up to Shane Flynn. My apologies, Quinn second on the team in RBIs with 8. Trailing to only the guy at the plate in Shane Flynn. Good to extend his RBI lead for the Chill. 435 average. Just second on the team, but the bat goes flying, and it's 0-1. So Flynn gonna need some pine tar on that bat. As it's very hot, can get pretty sweaty, and a loose grip on that bat cause it to go flying, and some friendly fire into his dugout. Fortunately, no one worse for the wear. There's swords, and then there's that. So you're readjusting the bat. So staying in his hands this time, but a big cut and a miss. 0-2 for Flynn. He's been swinging out of his shoes on these first 2 pitches, and right now here just may need to shorten up your approach a bit just to make contact and have something good happen, or that. A wild pitch has scored the second run of the ball game, so no RBIs in the 2 runs scored by the Chill. It's been a balk and a wild pitch. And I guess you could say small ball is working, but sometimes the opponent just beating themselves is all you'll need. And that's exactly what the Chill have done, now looking for a 2-out rally. Nobody on here now, and Flynn in a 1-2 count. One, 2 is just to our right and into Sunrise Park. Flynn going to see another 1-2 offering. And it's advantage hitter in the righty-lefty matchup. That pitch upstairs, 2-2. A lot of 2s on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here, and already a 2-0 ball game. Chill got their runs on self-inflicted wounds. The balk and the wild pitch, but not before they did what they had to do. A couple of hits, a triple and a single. Now the 2-2 Thought it'd be strike 3, but Flynn having a better eye than me at the plate. Takes that one, and it'll be a payoff pitch, 3-2 in just a moment. It was once a 1-2 count. Would hate to lose the 5-hole hitter in Flynn as he lines this one up the middle. Base hit. Quality at bat from Shane. Flynn works from 1-2 to a full count and gets a hitter's pitch on 3-2 and smacks it into right field, or center field, I should say, excuse me. Now with Flynn doing the catching duties, he'll get the courtesy pinch runner as he goes to put on the gear. Now Luke McCarthy, the shortstop, looking to extend the inning. It's already played it across 2 runs. Pickoff move. Once again to no avail, and it's no count so far. Runner on the move. Tag not applied in time. Well, I don't know if he even was at all, but it's a stolen base nonetheless for Flynn's pinch runner, and it's 1-0. So a pair of McCarthy's on this team. And this is Luke McCarthy. He's ahead 2-0. McCarthy's struggling a bit here. It's a 143 average. The OBP near 300, though, so he's got a good eye for the plate. So he grounds this one up the middle of the shortstop. Will field in time. Of course, someone throw over to retire McCarthy. But 2 runs put across on the scoreboard, and the Chill will take that lead to the top half of the second inning, leading by 2 and hoping to keep the lead right where it's at when we get back.
It's a family setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Top half of the second inning here in beautiful Palm Springs, and it's the Haymakers looking to say hey in this ball game and get the offense going. Nothing in the first inning for them, and they gave up a pair of runs. So now it stands they have a 2-0 deficit. Middle part of their lineup, 5, 6, and 7. Never thought saying the numbers 6 and 7 together would cause such a commotion, but here we are. In the great year of 2026 as the first pitch from Martin is taken for a ball. Lefty doing what he did in his first go-around in Kase, and that's firing the first few pitches that are out of the zone. Went into a 3-ball hole to start his outing, but was able to recover nicely forced a fly out on the leadoff hitter in Corselman back in the first, and looking to regroup and recover. And this AB as well on Martin. 2-1. That one popped in the air center field, but not going to be caught. Thought Washington might have been able to make a play on that. However, fell right in front of his feet, and that's a leadoff base hit for the Haymakers. Martin, I believe, looking for his courtesy pinch runner as the catcher, as he will indeed check out and take a seat as he goes to put on the gear. He did his job at the plate, though. Now, Tyler Crawford, him and his twin brother also on this team. His brother a pitcher. Runner on the move. Good throw. Is it in time? Was the tag applied? Yes, it was. Isaiah Martin caught stealing. I'm sorry, that was his pinch runner and Christian Alford. So Martin got the base hit, and his pinch runner eliminates what could have been any threat of a leadoff hitter coming around to score. And now it'll be up to Crawford with one away. Mentioned his brother Connor on the team is a pitcher. Now that stolen base attempt could be ever more detrimental with Crawford ahead 3-1. Capable getting on base with ball 4. 310 OBP for Crawford on the year, and that is indeed ball 4. His 5th walk of the season. So what could have been 2 on, no out with the tying run on base is now just the tying run coming to the plate with 1 out after the caught stealing. And Addison Seuss, the designated hitter, getting a chance to hit, but not before there was a meeting on the mound, and I stand corrected. It was supposed to be Addison Seuss in this spot. But a last-minute scratch in the lineup has seen other plans as Samuel Jamarillo will now take the stage. Jamarillo takes the pitch, and that one, another stolen base opportunity, and this one successful from Tyler Crawford. So the first stolen base of the game for the Haymakers after the first opportunity was denied. So big run standing in scoring position with 1 away. Jaramillo looking to introduce himself into the ball game. It's a 250 average for Jaramillo. Averaging about a hit every other game. Had an RBI his last go around in a 17-3 loss to the Bombers. It was one of the lone bright spots in a tough defeat. Just had a run in that game, so was responsible for 2/3 of that offense. Their last ball game, and now he takes low and might have been outside, but for sure low, and it's 3-2. Pick-off move, trying to take too big of a lead is Tyler Crawford, as in just a moment we'll have another switch to the lineup that I was sent by the Haymakers. So instead of Landeros in the 9th spot, or the 8th spot, excuse me, it'll be the other Crawford and Connor. As now that's ball 4. First 3 hitters in this inning have reached, and don't need to beat on a dead horse to talk about how costly that leadoff hitter getting thrown out on the base paths was. Nonetheless, an opportunity for his teammates to continue to pick up that big mistake. And with 1 out, I mentioned it is the other Crawford, Connor Crawford. 2-way guys. Another pickoff move was thought about, but a pump fake. Ball chopped on the ground, foul for Connor Crawford. He's behind 0-1 out of San Bernardino Valley College. Only 2 hits for the season for the other Crawford. Shouldn't call him the other Crawford, but Crawford that is less utilized in this role with the bat. Does have a 250 average, though, and the OBP even better with the 500 with a lot of walks, but he hits that one hard, but not in time for the double play. Nice play by the shortstop to make the line shot catch. Tried to double off his brother and Tyler. And that quite literally would have been an inning-ending twin killing with the twin brothers going down on a double play had they get the brothers doubled off. So just a line out to the shortstop, and it's going to be a 2-out rally needed from their 9-hole hitter and Swinford as the runners are on the move. A great read. The throw is going to go down to second because the runner on second got an extended jump, and he will be thrown out. So a great heads-up play by the catcher in Flynn to end the inning. Nothing came out of that after the first 3 batters of the inning reached for the Haymakers, and they still trail 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. And as soon as the ball that was thrown down to second base before the start of the inning gets corralled back in, we'll get going here for the bottom half of the second inning with the Chill looking to extend their lead over the Haymakers, which is already at 2 thanks to a 2-run first inning. It's been an efficient outing on the mound to start for Kase. We mentioned it's a battle of 2 left-handed starters here. The other southpaw being Tyler Kennedy. Fires in the first pitch strike. Kennedy loses his hat. And we'll have to quickly get his headwear back on and ready to roll for pitch number 2 of the inning. Owen offering, and he loses his hat again. Might need to get a different size hat as McCarthy shoots one in the outfield for a base hit. Oh, my correction, that's Connor Freeze with the leadoff base hit, the third baseman. Iconic last name for third baseman to have the last name Freeze. A good start for the Chill here in their second inning. Leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning for them as it's starting to become a recurring theme for Kennedy on the mound to not keep his hat on. Oh, ball's in the strike. As it's a foul ball. And at what point do we maybe tell Kennedy either A, you don't have to wear the hat, or B, just get him a different one? It's been every pitch so far that the hat has escaped his head. But it stays on right there, and he gets strike 3. How about it? So out number 1 on a backwards K, the first strikeout on the day for Kennedy. He secures his head, and now he's ready to go on the left-handed McCarthy. So a pair of Crawfords and now a pair of McCarthys. At the risk of being unsure, I am not too sure if Noah and Luke are related. Noah, a junior at Thomas More University. Let's see. Hits that one to the first baseman. Kept it in front of him. Couldn't find it for a second, but able to corral and keep it in front of him to get out number 2, but the runner at first will advance to second base. So a runner in scoring position, 2 away after the 3 unassisted, and Cameron Washington the opportunity to play to cross another run. Washington, the center fielder in this ball game. Out of Baton Rouge Community College. Had as good of a day you could have possibly had in his last appearance back on June 21st. Came in and pitch hit. And reached twice, scoring 2 runs, had a hit, a double, 2 stolen bases. It's been a great year all around for Washington, and a guy who you almost can't fathom to believe that he's in the 10th spot because of how well he's been hitting. A 526 average, a 640 OBP. And this is now the 9th game of the year, so usually you get those small sample sizes in about 5 to 10 games, but now that we're nearly, I'd say over a third of the way through the season here in the PSCL, those numbers are less fluky and more legit. And as the days go on, even further solidifies his case that he should be playing on the 4th of July in the PSCL All-Star Game. Be a fun opportunity for the best of the best here across the PSCL and take on the Palm Springs Power. It's one of the greatest days of the year here at Palm Springs Stadium. Another great day, Palm Springs Stadium. Coming up this weekend, Micromania Night. That'll be taking place on, I believe, Saturday, correct? Getting the confirmation from good buddy and my producer to my left, Ethan Oliveras, who had a tremendous call the first game between the upset-minded Bombers and the Jacks, who fell for the first time this season. Kennedy, after giving up the leadoff base hit, is 1 pitch away from escaping the inning with the donut. That'd be very promising for his team and could be a momentum shift in the ballgame. Wild pitch, but before the pitch went errant, there was a balk anyway, so regardless, Freeze would have been standing at third base. We'll have to do the 1-2 once more, and that's the 3rd time we've seen a balk be called in this ballgame. It's 4 hits, and yes, you could say that's definitely a strong candidate of being the decisive and why Kennedy's had a bit of a rough outing so far, but the main reason in my argument's got to be the balks. Getting called for a balk once in a game is incredibly rare, but 3 in the first inning and 2/3 is almost obscene. Setting up outside on the 1-2. That one gets away, and it's a wild pitch. So third run across for the Chill in the game. They'll grab the lead 3-0, and it's been an unconventional fashion for them scoring runs. No RBIs, 2 wild pitches, and a balk have been the 3 ways they've scored their runs in this game. But you take it any way they give it to you. Now Washington, 12 2 strikes and 2 outs, is trying to get himself aboard and turn it over to the top of the lineup with 2 away. See, pops this one in the air left field. Ranging back on it, making the catch. And that's 3 outs. So got to be a little bit frustrating for Kennedy from being 1 pitch away to getting out of the inning to letting a pitch escape and playing across a run on the wild pitch. And the deficit for the Haymakers increases ever so slightly. They now trailed 3 entering the third. In top half of the third inning, it's been a fairly quick-moving ball game. Here at Palm Springs Stadium, the sun is starting to peek its head out here. We'll see if that has any effect on Brett Casa entering his third inning of work, as it doesn't appear so. First pitch is a pop fly on the infield, and nice play. Rather routine, though. And out number 1, Swinford, the second baseman, flies out to his second base counterpart. With Buck making the play, that's 1 away. Jacob Korselman up for the second time here today. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Baker thinking fastball right there, didn't get it. Or my apologies, Korselman thinking fastball, didn't get it, and took a big cut at that one. Thought about chasing that one, but checked his swing, and wise decision to do so. He's up 2-1 in the count. Big wave and a miss right there, and Korselman just looks a little bit off balance, facing against the lefty. And sometimes righties, typically you say that's an advantage matchup for the right-handed bat, but as a fly ball on the infield will be caught for out number 2. Sometimes the lefties, because you don't face them as often and have a different arm angle, arm slot, whatever you want to call it, they can create more deception for a right-handed bat as opposed to those right-handed arms. And sometimes because they're so used to seeing the right-handed pitchers, those right-handed hitters end up being better hitting against guys from the right-hand side, and sometimes struggle with those guys from the left side. You see it from some of the best players even across the world, like Mike Trout. He's not one of those platoon guys. Have those reverse splits where he's better against righties. Been a pair of infield flyouts. Kase working quickly here. May have caught a break last inning. Last inning may have been the inning to do damage against him. The first 3 batters getting on, but however getting stranded because 2 of them were caught stealing. I think that gave Kase all the momentum he needed, knowing that his defense will back him up in any situation. All he has to do is force weak contact, and the defense will get the job done. Danger of losing this first perfect inning, however, and he will, as it's a walk. Walk number 4 on the outing for him. The walks haven't hurt him so far, but you feel like if you continue this trend eventually, it's going to come back to haunt you. It's funny enough, on the opposing side, not a single walk for the Chill. But it's been different mental woes for the Haymakers, which is the balk, the wild pitch, that have really been causing the issues. As now that one's shot in the left field, but that one will be caught. Hard hit for Bianco, but unfortunately rotten luck as he hits that one right at the left fielder in Baker, as that'll be the 3rd shutout inning we have seen from Kase, and he's looking to build on that momentum in his next frame. But first, we'll see if his offense can get him even more run support, already leading 3-0 and looking for more. In the bottom half of the 3rd, we'll be back with more exciting action on the PSEL YouTube channel. Stay here with us. Back here for the bottom half of the 3rd inning is Baker, who had a big triple in his first go-around, came across the score, and his run, the first run of the game, is now still the go-ahead run for the Chill as it stands. Devin Baker. The .333 average. And some of my favorite things about the PSEL is just seeing the collective of athletes and where everyone comes from. No team has just one set of players from one part of the country or even parts of the world. PSEL having not just national athletes from all across the country, but international athletes coming from parts of Canada, Japan, Dominican Republic, as that one's flied in the air. And Baker is retired for out number 1. But just being able to interact with the people who are able to come out to the ball games or come out to the turf fields and learn the stories of these players, but even more so seeing where everyone's watching from. And I know Baker has some fans out in the Northeast, so I'll give a shout out to them tuning in here today. But it's just so fun to see just where everyone comes from. I was talking with Caden Johnson's family the other day. He plays for the Blue Sox. His family's coming from all the way from Alberta, and they're here for the week to come see him. And just seeing the mesh of cultures and personalities, it's just so fun to see. And something so unique to the PSCL and just baseball as a whole. There's a wave in the miss by Watkins there, and he's behind 0-1. Watkins, who struck out in his first plate appearance, is taking a brief pause and trying to regroup himself in the box after a quick strikeout in his last plate appearance and already behind 0-1. Strikeouts a rarity for Watkins typically. He only had 3 on the year coming into today. You got to wonder, in the batter's box, does it mess with you at all mentally? You're seeing Kennedy having to take a little bit of extra time to deliver the pitch because he keeps losing his hat. 1-1. Fired and low, 2-1. And with the pitch clock not being a factor here in the PSEL, it's something that isn't as egregious as it could be in other leagues, and which doesn't cause Kennedy any damage. The higher levels of baseball where you're almost forced to keep the game going quickly. That could be a blemish and something Kennedy will need to improve upon. I don't know if it's his fault that it's his hat that keeps coming off his body. Is another one that's lower than this for Kennedy. Most of his misses have come downstairs. And it's 3-2. Watkins, who went down on strikes in his last plate appearance, working a good count here, looking to win the AB. He does, ball 4. First walk of the day for the Chill. Brings up the heart of their lineup. They got 3, 4, 5 now coming up here with 1 away, and it starts with Buck. Cameron Buck. What is now his 11th game. Extended the hit streak to 4. Base hit back in the first inning. He takes pitch low, but called for a strike. Got some speed, the guy in the batter's box, and Buck has a pair of stolen bases on the year. Also has 7 RBIs, which is tied for 3rd on the team, but he flies this one in the right field and shifted right towards the line and making the play for out number 2. Miles Washington. So a pair of F9s here in this inning for the Chill. And it's up to Amari Quinn to try and salvage the inning. But on the opposing side, it's Kennedy and the Haymakers looking for their first 0 of the day. They thought they potentially could have had their first 0 of the day in the last half inning, had 2 outs, 2 strikes on the 10 hitter in Cam Washington. Balk, a wild pitch, changed the complexion of the AB and allowed the runner and freeze to score. Just a couple of pitches later, Kennedy was able to get a fly ball, and that 1 run now looming pretty large. It's 1-0 to Amari Quinn. Seen 3 flyouts to right field today, all by right-handed hitters trying to go the opposite way. Now Quinn sees the count get even 1-1 after taking a pitch he thought was a little bit low, but a pitch that he definitely wasn't going to do damage on in a 1-0 count, so wanted to leave it be. Now looking for his hitter's pitch here. 1-1 count, but not before a pickoff move that nearly sailed away from the first baseman, and unfortunately able to leap and make the grab is Connor Crawford. Crawford, who was a last-minute addition to the lineup, taking the place of Andre Landeros. Him and Jeremio were the 2 last-minute additions in place of Seuss and Londeros the last-minute subtractions. Guessing they are both available off the bench if need be. 2-1. Fired in downstairs, now 3-1. If you're Quinn, you just need to find yourself a board here and pass the baton over to Flynn, who is your RBI leader on the team. Flynn already with a base hit in this ball game. Not that you expect, but you at least trust him. If it comes down to an RBI situation for him, that he's able to come through for the squad. Before anything, a 3-1 pitch has to be offered to Amari Quinn, and he has to get on base first things first. Seeking a fastball. If he doesn't get it, he's going to take the pitch, and the 3-1 is fastball that he's a bit early on and got a little bit jammed up inside. It's foul. So a payoff pitch here will mean that Watkins is on the move. Potentially where this ball is hit could lead to a run. Payoff pitch. Runner was not on the move. Don't think understood the situation, but nevertheless, Quinn strikes out anyways. And that'll do it for the inning. Nothing there for the Chill. The first 0 we've seen across the board from them today, and it's the first scoreless inning that we've had. Haymakers looking to build upon this 0 by getting some runs and making it a game. It's 3-0. We head top 4. And welcome back here. Kase twirling a gem so far in the southpaw, looking to put himself on pace for the win. Would just need 3 more outs in order to do that. Kase now delivers. First pitch ball to Miles Washington. Or correction, Gene Bianco. Two balls and a strike. Or no strikes. As that one is punched in the left field for a base hit. Haymakers, who were hitting the ball hard last inning, just didn't have anything to show for it, and now here a leadoff base hits. But if you remember back in the second inning, they had a leadoff single and 2 walks to follow. But there was 2 caught stealings in between there that really put a wrench in that inning. Now we'll see if they try to be aggressive on the base paths as Bianco takes off for second on the pitch that skips away. But we'll let Bianco be happy with me with the stats after the game, and I'll give him a stolen base for it. Now Washington in a lefty-lefty matchup against Kase, who is facing his first real threat since the second inning. even in that second inning, didn't have more than 2 base runners to deal with at a time. Didn't get as far as second base were any base runners so far today. And now it's 3-0, and danger of losing the cleanup man in Washington. With a 4-3 ground out to wrap up the first inning in his previous plate appearance. 3-0. Ball 4. Correction, strike 1. Pitch on the outside. Thought didn't have the zone, but I stand corrected. Now 3-1 to Washington. Taken upstairs, and that will be ball 4. No questions about that one, and now it's 2-on here, and the tying run coming to the plate. It's catcher Isaiah Martin. Haymakers looking to get across their first runs of the ball game with nobody out, really looking to get something brewing. First pitch strike. It's a balk called, the first one we've seen called against the Chill. This one, a costly one, moves everyone up 90 feet, and now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Going to be a tough jam here for Kase to get out of. Dangerous running his first few runs of the ball game and facing the College and Desert product Isaiah Martin. Takes a pitch on the outside. Martin, as a catcher, typically feel that catchers have a great eye of the plate because they're behind the dish for 9 innings, and they get to see the umpire's entire strike zone so they know what pitches to swing at, what not to swing at. Pitch on the outside taken, and that's a close one. Well, for ball 3-1. And that really shows with Martin, as he has 9 walks this season and has walked in all but 2 games this season. So a tremendous eye for the plate, and shows right there. Thought that was ball 4, now it's ball 3. Looking for a walk. Number 10 on the year. Had a base hit in his first go-around. That he pops this one into shallow left field. Could be trouble, and it is. It falls. 1 run in. Washington had to hold at second base. Baseball is going all around the infield, but nevertheless, a base hit, a run scores. Washington's first run of the game. Oh, I'm sorry, Bianco's first run of the game. Martin's first run driven in of the day. Still, the threat looming even larger with a tying run now standing at first base. Martin, a 2-for-2 day. And Tyler Crawford, one of the 2 Crawford brothers that we're going to see in the next 3 hitters. It's Crawford, Jaramillo, and then Crawford again. As it's now 2-0. Crawford a walk, then a stolen base. Second inning. He's at 3-0, seeking his second potential walk, but will take strike 1. Three balls and a strike on a warm summer day here in Palm Springs. Big wave and a miss there at a breaking ball that looked like it had a lot of the strike zone. Crawford's eyes lit up, but couldn't connect. Gonna need to do it here on 3-2. one foul. Been quality ABs throughout the inning here for the Haymakers, and it's showing. The run and 2 already on base. Payoff pitch taken outside, ball 4. Sacks packed with Haymakers. Pair of hits, a pair of walks have put the Chill in a bit of a conundrum. Oh, my apologies, as it was a balk before the pitch was called. So Crawford still at the plate, however, runners on second and third. Crawford fouls it off, and it'll be a payoff pitch. Again, my apologies. It's still Tyler Crawford at the plate. What we thought was ball 4 was just a balk. Just a no pitch, and each runner moves up 90 feet. And now Crawford on the 3-2 will pop this one in the left field. Will be caught. Now they're going to test the throw of the left fielder. The throw's on point. The throw could not get him because the catcher dropped the ball. He can't find the ball. I don't know what he saw. He saw a different baseball over by the Haymakers dugout. And he went to go grab that one. Meanwhile, his pitcher saw where the actual ball went and was able to recover it. Oh, what scenes here in the PSEL. Confusion here. And the Chills manager going to come out for a brief discussion to figure out what exactly just happened there. It was a great throw out there in left field by Devin Baker. Thought Baker's throw was going to be enough. Got there in one hop in plenty of time to get the runner. Throw was in time. The tag looked to be in time, but ball couldn't stay in the glove, so the run scored. But the icing on the cake was Flynn, and I can't blame him because he didn't see where the ball went. He looked around, saw a baseball, and started running towards the baseball that he saw. Because there shouldn't be another ball in the field of play. Like, let's just be honest. There shouldn't be another ball in the field of play, but there was. And I'm just looking around like, what does he see that I don't? And there's an extra baseball, but fortunately, that runner at third base just stayed put. Probably because he was as confused as the rest of us, wondering why he was going to the right. Well, I thought it might have been one of those scenarios where, you know, it happens sometimes when you're playing the video game MLB The Show where your controller dies and your fielder will just keep running. But anyways, amidst all the chaos, Haymakers still trying to bring across that tying run that's standing 90 feet away. And that was called strike 3. About as small or as less empathetic of a strike 3 call as you could possibly have. I thought it was just called strike 2 by the way he reacted. It popped out of the catcher's mitt of Flynn. So that mitt maybe giving him some issues and might need to check it for repair. But a big strikeout there. F7 and a strikeout, and it's now up to Connor Crawford to potentially tie this ball game. Grounds this one over the third baseman's head and through, base hit. Crawford indeed does the job. He drives in his first of the ball game, and this one is tied 4-4 or 3-3 with 4 hits for each side. So a big 2-out base hit from Connor Crawford. His brother Tyler drove in the second run of the ball game due to a sac fly. It's been fun here at Palm Springs Stadium. On the outside, 0-1. Scoring summary so far has been 2 in the first for the Chill, 1 in the second. Didn't get any in the third. And we're scoreless up until this frame for the Haymakers, and they've tallied on 3. The first real crooked number here in this game as down goes Swinford on strikes. But not before the damage was done. That crooked number we just mentioned put up on the scoreboard was a big 3 to tie this ball game at 3s. And it's the Chill looking to have some sort of response in the bottom half. Saw their lead evaporate in just moments. 3-3 tie. We had bottom 4. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom half of the fourth, and the Chill in need of getting these runs back after surrendering the lead they had all game. 3-run top half from the Haymakers has made it a ball game. As even of a game on the scoreboard as you can have. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for both sides. Each starting pitcher having quality starts so far. There's Coste, who is on pace for the win and would have put himself on pace for it had he gotten 3 outs in that last inning before surrendering 3 runs. Fortunately for him, now on pace for that no decision. And with action in the Chill bullpen. We'll see what exactly that means for the Chill, who played some excellent baseball down the stretch, and that can be partially thanks to some good bullpen play. Their bullpen has been one of the more solid ones across the PSCL. It took a massive hit today as one of their relievers traded over to the bootlegger. That's Isidro Garcia, who is a prominent late-inning guy for them. See how this Chill team can adjust and fair after their first game. Now especially going to need it in a high leverage situation without Garcia. Such a well-liked guy in that clubhouse as well. It's now the 3-0, and it's going to be a leadoff walk delivered from Kennedy to Flynn. Now Luke McCarthy, who gotten out to end the first inning. Coming up with one on and nobody out as the courtesy bench runner will come on for the catcher and Flynn for the second time here today. Now, brief time to clear off home plate, and now Kennedy's ready to roll here against McCarthy. First pitch is on the lower half, called for a strike, and nice job of picking the corner right there. Kennedy 0-1. Pause. Now delivers. That one's on the ground. Fielded. Bobbled. Oh, plays that first. Will they get it in time? No, they will not. Infield hit Luke McCarthy. Still awaiting the ruling from our scorer here on whether that's a hit or an error. Gonna go down as an error. Call it E5, and now a chance for the Chill to tack on. Now the ball will get away. Wild pitch moves everyone up 90 feet. The Chill are threatening, seeking their lead right back after they squandered it in the last half of the fourth inning. Freeze base hit later came around to score back in the second inning. It was the lone run of that second inning. Now time is out on the mound to try and calm down Kennedy and try and give whoever is going to be warming up for the Haymakers in the bullpen time to get loose and time to get out there. So already 2 on, both of them in scoring position here. And a real threat for offense for Freeze in the bottom of the lineup. Freeze, Baptista, and then the other McCarthy due up. And then if it comes down to it, Cam Washington. Two up. That one popped in the air left field. Going to be routine, but going to be enough to score the run. The center fielder making the call and the catch, and the throw is going to go to third where they can't get the runner. So sac fly for Freeze will give the Chill the lead right back. Four 4-3 Chill. Flynn scores. McCarthy to third. And now did McCarthy score on that play as well? As correction, that's going to be 2 outs. It's going to be a double play. McCarthy left the second base bag too early. And after the appeal, it was ruled evident that He indeed left too early. So a massive out right there eliminates what could have been a second run that was only standing 90 feet away. Now the base is cleared. Chance for Kennedy to really regroup here, and getting out of this with one can give him a sigh of relief and a chance for his offense to pick him right back up in the next half. Tisa went down looking on strikes in his first go-around, but ahead here 2-0 as the designated hitter. 2-1. Donning those bright pink batting gloves is Baptista. We've seen a couple of guys across the PSEL with some bright pink equipment. And from 2-0 to 2-2, a good job of Kennedy to attack the outer portion of the plate. He's getting that strike call, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now he's got to find a way to get that third strike. Kennedy went down window shopping his first go-around, and for a similar result is Kennedy the 2-2. Skied in the air weakly, and calling for it is the right fielder in Washington. He'll make the play. That's out number 3, but the Chill got one across. It could have been much more, but a costly base running blunder kept it at 1, and it's now the Haymakers looking to get that run right back when we get back here on the PSEL YouTube channel. So that'll be the day for the left-handed southpaw in Brett Kase. But what a day it was for him on the bump. Right now on pace for the win. Wasn't the cleanest outing in the world, but he did just enough to help his team to stay in this ball game as it's now 2-0. Funny enough, didn't record a strikeout until his last batter of the outing in Swinford. Now Corselman on deck, the 10-hole hitter. Is at the plate. He's ahead 3-0. 4-pitch walk. The bottom of the lineup. And looking to get things cooking here. So after the fly on his first at bat, works a walk right there. Now he's the tying run. So now it's the top of the lineup, Jacob Corselman, and he pops this one in the air left field just off the end of the bat and will be caught for out number 1. A routine fly ball there for Baker, but sounded like it had good wood initially, just missed the angle, but not by much. Now John Guerrero looking to pick up the leadoff hitter in Corselman. Guerrero 0 for 1 day, has a walk though. He's ahead 1-0. He's been hitting 5 of his last 6 for Guerrero. He hits a routine fly ball. This one into right field and will be able to make the play, and out number 2 is made. This time by Watkins. It's the first time we've seen him involved in the action defensively today. So it only took 5 innings for the right fielder having to get up and make a play. You talk to any outfielder who plays, see, it can get lonely in the outfield. It can get boring. It can get tedious because you're out there for so long not getting any action. But when the ball comes to you, you got to be ready for it. And Watkins was exactly that. And I'll say this, it's been tough for Fazio to get that first pitch strike, but that hasn't affected him. Yes, he had the walk to start things, but a pair of flyouts. Now facing Gene Bianco. You can get some more weak contact here, it'll be the inning. Indeed does get weak contact. It's a fly ball on the infield. Going to be a tough play. And it falls. Fair ball. Miscommunication between the first and second baseman, and now a miscommunication on the base pass. What in the world is going on? Chaos ensuing. Where do we begin with this play? See, this is where some of the times I wish I had a color commentator for this situation so I can just have time to process that. Buck and Quinn, on a routine fly ball, were both talking, and neither made an effort to get to the ball. They let it drop in between them, which I don't know how was possible, considering there is maybe half a foot of space in between the two. As there's ball 1. And just when you thought the chaos was done, it looked like the Haymakers had ran into their third out of the inning at third base. As there's ball 2. Najee Basil, who is a primary pitcher, after his leadoff walk was making the turn around second, heading for third, as now it's 2-1. To Miles Washington, and the best part about that is that's going to be ruled a single for Bianco, but Basil was rounding second, heading for third, and he got hung up. But fortunately for him, third baseman and Freeze dropped the ball. That one's now through, and this game is tied. Now the throw is going to third again, and fortunately for both sides, it wasn't as hectic as the last go-around. Back-to-back base hits and a 2-out rally has tied this ball game up at 4s. So a routine fly ball that looked to end the inning is now gone as an earned run, unfortunately, for Fazio, and that's probably one of the worst earned runs he'll give up in his career. I still can't get over that play at third base. Basil, who's now the tying run, did a, hey, look over there. And it worked. Runner on the move. This one popped in the air left field, ranging on it, looking up, and that baby will go! Isaiah Martin, his third hit of the game, and this one gives the Haymakers their first lead of the day, 7-4. How the tables have turned. It looked to be 4-3 with the pop-up that all but ended the inning for the Haymakers. And instead the fly ball falls. It turns into a run. And then just a few batters later, Isaiah Martin not just plates across the go-ahead run, but adds on some insurance. The start of the year, we were told by Stephen Buxton, who has seen his fair share of baseball here at Palm Springs Stadium growing up in the area and working for the Power. This is now his third season. And his fifth overall if you include the Winter League. He told us at max, you will maybe see 10 home runs the entire year. And I don't have the exact number for stats across the PSEL, but at least for me personally, I've seen 10 alone in the first half of the season. And you could argue that no home run bigger than the one we just saw from Martin. And most of the power we've seen in the PSEL this season has come from those left-handed hitters. The last 2 days, the wind hasn't been much of a factor, if any factor, here at the ballpark. There's been essentially no wind. And with the high elevation and high temperatures, that usually is a recipe for the ball to carry. And that ball did indeed keep carrying over the fence for a 3-run home run that now has the Haymakers out 7-4. And that's where the lead will stand after Crawford's ground out. A 4-run frame. In the last inning and a half, it's been the Haymakers outscoring the Chill 7-1. And that score is really being showcased on the scoreboard as it's now 7-4. The Haymakers take their first lead in the bottom half of the fifth. Well, how about that for fireworks in the top half of the first inning? And or the top half of the inning, the top half of the fifth inning, excuse me. And the bottom half of the fifth, after the Haymakers took their first lead of the game, the Chill in need of a response, in need of a quick response. Starting to get to a point now after that explosion of offense for the Haymakers where you're not only chasing runs, but you're chasing outs as well. It's only being a 7-inning contest. You're going to need some production from the bottom of your lineup, who, between your 8-9-1 or 8-9-10 spots, is combined 0 for 4. McCarthy looking to break that stretch here. However, he's behind 0-2 in the count. That's another new pitcher on the mound. So right now, Tyler Kennedy on pace for the win. That's ball one. Kennedy had 4 innings, 4 runs, 4 earned, and 4 hits allowed. So now it's 0-2. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout right there, and that's out number 1. Folks, my apologies. It's now Tyler Kennedy on the mound. Just given lineup card where it said Tyler Kennedy was going to be the starter here in today's ball game, and that was not the case. Instead, there's Brenton Worthgen, who had an impeccable start. And for Worthgen, who came into the ball game with an 81 ERA, we'll see that ERA shift dramatically and much to his favor. And that's back-to-back strikeouts now for the guy that is now Tyler Kennedy, taking the place of Worthgen after his efficient 4 innings. And a great start for Kennedy with back-to-back punch-outs. Now he'll have to face the top of the lineup and moving quickly. I think the thing that impressed me the most about Worthgen today was only had 2 walks. That one down the line, off the bag and fair. Round first, heading for second, trying to turn it into a hustle double, and it'll be exactly that. There was a pinch hitter right there for the Chill, for Devin Baker, who's 1 for 2 on the day. So Baker's day is complete. And his pinch hitter, Matt Redonda, gets himself on the stat sheet with a double. And a big wave and a miss there from Watkins, who already 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout. Also has a walk worked back in the 3rd inning. Looking to fail falling victim to the strikeout. Be the 5th strikeout of the day. Overall for pitching of the Haymakers, or correction, that'd be the 6th strikeout now. That one slider in the dirt. A great recovery, though, as now it's a base running blunder. A play at the plate is now going to be forced upon and out by a mile, like a deer in the headlights. Redonda thought the ball got past the third baseman and made the route for home, and unfortunately for him, that was not the case, and he was hung out to dry after a play at the plate, costing his team a run and a big out. So the score remains 7-4 after 5 innings, and it's the Haymakers looking for a big response, or the Chill looking for a response of their own with a 0, and the Bats getting right back up in the 6th inning, and we'll see which outcome prevails when we get back. And the top half of the 6th inning just about underway here. Fazio out for his 2nd inning of work, and it was an unfortunate 4-run frame that all runs will end up being tacked on to him for. And now 0-1. It'll be Watkins, Buck, and Quinn next inning for the Chill. But here in the 6th inning, it'll be Hamadio, Crawford, and Swinford. 7, 8, 9 parts of the Haymakers lineup, and it's the Chill in need of a quick out here, a quick 1-2-3 inning. As that will help. It's a ground ball over to third base. Rover's well in time. Hamadio will walk back to the dugout after out number 1. Connor Crawford will step up for the 3rd time today. He's got a single and an RBI in this game, and his first time he went down, it was an unfortunate line out to the shortstop that he hit on the screws just right at the shortstop and could easily have a 2-hit day so far. And he'll take strike 1. Swinford standing on deck. And he's hoping that he can come up to the plate with Crawford standing on a base. The opportunity to extend this lead even further. Fazio after a first pitch strike. Let a couple slip away, and it's 2-1. Pitch on the inside, called for a strike. Crawford kind of shakes his head. But he'll have to adjust on 2-2. He knows the strike zone now and knows that that pitch is in a similar spot. He'll have to swing at it at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And Fazio's upstairs is 3-2. So all the misses for Fazio coming up. We've seen for most pitchers in the PSL, it's kind of been the reverse. Most of the misses that they're missing down. And now the 3-2 is popped in the air but foul. It'll do the payoff pitch once more. Off the light pole and back in play. Fielded cleanly by our base umpire. Showing us that umpires are athletes too. There's now time in the box for Crawford. Swinford on deck, Bassel in the hole. 3-2. That one popped into center field. Going to be a tough play, and will be no play for Washington. One out base hit after a long at-bat from Connor Crawford. And Swinford stepping up to the plate here. An opportunity to extend this inning even further. That one popped in the air. A first pitch result. That one was huge for Fazio, and that's out number 2. Fazio was able to get to 2 outs in the last half inning and thought he had the 3rd out on a routine fly ball. Needless to say, that was not the case in a game-shifting turn of events last half inning that turned into 4 runs for the Haymakers, as now we have pinch hitter for Basil, Christian Axford. One outside, 1-1. Alford out of Georgia State University. Division I program out in Atlanta. Georgia State University, funny enough, they play their home football games at a stadium that used to be primarily hosted for baseball, being Turner Field, which may go by a new name now, but back when it was the MLB home of the Atlanta Braves was known as Turner Field. Only was their home field for about 25 years before they decided to move into Truist Park, where the Braves. Turner Field stays standing, and now the home of the Georgia State Panthers football team is Alford waves and misses at strike 3. So no damage done, the frustration mounting for Alford. But it's all good vibes nonetheless for the Haymakers right now as they contain their lead at 7-4, and they're in need of another 0 to keep the lead right where it's at from Kennedy when we get back. The exact part of the lineup you need up for the Chili. 2, 3, 4 coming up. Watkins will get a second chance at his third AB after Redondo was thrown out trying to take third and actually take home after he thought the ball got in the left field after he stole third base. So Watkins, as a refresher, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk today. One offered inside, and it's 1-1. Imagine Watkins has been struggling a bit this year with the batting average. The OBP has been a little bit more solid, though. Now 2-1. At 1. Soft grounder fielded cleanly after it took a couple of funny hops. And Watkins will be down to start the inning. Buck and Quinn, the next two due up, and they will be responsible for trying to start the rally for the Chill. We've only scored 1 run since that second inning. Seen across the PSEL, it's not jumping off to an early lead that is the determining factor. Yes, obviously you can build yourself a nice cushion. That certainly does help, but last few games we've seen here, at least the second game of the day here at Palm Springs Stadium, it's usually wound up being, there's strike 2, team that goes out front first, not always winning. Maybe the biggest indicator of that was the 7-run comeback the Grizzly had over the Blue Sox as their strike 3. Strikeout looking for Cameron Buck. First time He goes down on strikes today, second time he's gone down overall. Now brings up Amari Quinn. Some may say to blame for that miscue on the fly ball that ended up played across the 4 runs in that 5th inning, and Quinn looking to have a potential makeup at bat here. Quinn takes downstairs. It's 2-0. And a big day in the sports world, as it's typically been this summer. College World Series just wrapping up, and a big congratulations to the Oklahoma Sooners winning the College World Series. World Cup still going on, as well as the MLB and WNBA. It's now 3-0. Palm Springs Stadium, once the spring training site and home for the Los Angeles Angels. Who were at the time known as the California Angels, and for a brief moment there was an attempt to try and get the Angels to make their permanent base here in Palm Springs. While that came to no avail, Angels a big part of this Palm Springs community, as there's ball 4. Angels have always prided themselves on being California's team, although they've changed, I guess, the location, city, whatever you want to call it. They've changed it plenty of times, from the California Angels, Los Angeles Angels, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Anaheim Angels. Too many times to keep track of, but unless one of Southern California's premier MLB teams not having the greatest season, but Angel Stadium still a great place to check out a ball game, and looking forward to checking it out here tonight for the first time as they take on the Orioles. Some of the greatest Angels of all time have taken this field here at Palm Springs Stadium, and just some of the greatest baseball players of all time as well. Most notable, as we all like to discuss, is the great Nolan Ryan. To the time is called, and the Amari Quinn walk. It's Flynn looking to extend the inning here. Takes a breaking ball, 1-1. Runner thought about going, but stays put. Now 2-1. Now 3-1. The runner and Quinn causing some havoc on the base path, says thought about going a couple times and hasn't, and might be starting to get in the head of Kennedy, the pitcher on the mound. 7 runs, 8 hits for the Haymakers, 4 runs on 5 hits for the Chill, and a pickoff move. Thought the Haymakers might have gotten themselves out of the inning, but just getting back in there in time was Quinn. 3-1 count, in danger of having the tying run step to the plate in McCarthy. 3-1. When we'll be fouled above our heads into Sunrise Park, and it's going to be a payoff pitch to decide the AB here for Flynn. Flynn a walk and a single, also has a stolen base in this ballgame, and a run. Very involved offensively, but yet the RBI leader is still searching for his first RBI. I'll have to wait after another pickoff move. Payoff pitch at long last being ready to be delivered, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Kennedy. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate here. And a pinch hitter for McCarthy. for some meeting on the mound. Give Kennedy some time to relax, and through back-to-back walks, let him focus just on this hitter and learn a little bit more about the hitter that's coming up to the plate here for the Chill. Indio Pavia Picard. Big chance here for Picard stepping into his first AB of the ball game. Be his 18th of the year. Takes a big cut and miss at strike one. Out of Irvine Valley Community College. Had 2 hits in his last ball game. That was a win against the Bootleggers, where that only had 1 hit on the season combined. Has been used primarily off the bench as a pinch hitter. Got a 294 OBP, and what they really love about him is his speed that he brings to the table. 8 stolen bases for him. Behind 1-2 here. He had 3 RBIs in the last ballgame, but also 2 strikeouts. Just a pair of singles on those 3 RBIs. Now the 1-2 upcoming here, and skied in the air, center field, got a bad beat on it, but thankfully the shortstop was there, and the ball was only hit to the edge of the grass, so no damage done. Another 0 for the Chill. Their second straight inning with a 0, and their third in the last 4 innings. They're starting to see this game slip away from them. It's 7-4 Haymakers. We head to the final inning, the 7th, and we'll have that coverage for you when we get back. We are back. It's the top half of the 7th inning. The Haymakers looking for a couple more runs and feel comfortable about the lead that they have going into the bottom half of the 7th. It's a new pitcher for the Chill. It's Nick Rivas, who is the innings leader for this Chill team. I'm sorry, the appearance leader for this Chill team, second in innings. And he's got a nasty breaking ball you saw right there that really deceives the hitter's timing. It's out 2-1. in the line for Fazio. 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, and you could say it wasn't really his fault, those runs being earned. Only did record 1 strikeout, so as a combined staff, Chill in 6 innings only have 2 strikeouts. And they've been getting a lot of 2 strike counts. It's just been an inability to get that 3rd and final strike. It's kept the bats alive. It's kept inning alive for the Haymakers. And it's turned into late 2-out production. One, two, once more. That ball cut on foul. The leadoff man and Jacob Corselman. Corselman seeing his 4th at bat of the day. Reached once on a walk. Now pops this one in the air, left field, and he'll be retired for the 3rd time today by a flyout. 2nd time he's been taken away by a flyout to left field. And that's what the Chill need, a quick 1-2-3 inning to give their offense any momentum. And if Rivas can keep this at a 0, it would be huge for the psyching of everybody. First pitch is a breaking ball that maybe went 50 feet, and it's 1-0. One and one. Ball and a strike here to John Guerrero. Ground out, fly out, and now a ground ball here, and can't be retired as throw gets away from Amari. Throw just a little bit offline. Going to go down as what should be an E5 on freeze. Looked to be 2 up, 2 down, and instead, base runner on the error, and Bianco get ready to step up and hit here. And he lines this one in the left field, but right at the left fielder. Some rotten luck as Redonda is there to make the catch, the newly checked in left fielder. It's been a fly on a line out to left field and an error in this inning that has kept it alive and ongoing as of now. 4-0 hitter in Miles Washington, and feel you need to get this guy out on the bump because of the ever-dangerous Isaiah Martin standing on deck. And the last thing you need is him coming up with runners in scoring position again. What's so dangerous about Martin is he doesn't need runners in scoring position to capitalize and bring runners home. You saw that with his 3-run homer with 1st and 2nd. Rivas has missed 3 straight. Washington had 3-0 and in danger of giving Martin another opportunity to hit on an already 3-for-3 day. And Martin does get another chance to step in the batter's box. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah Martin, 3-for-3 with 4 RBIs. 2 singles and a home run. Has as many runs batted in as the Chill have runs all day. Chill only have 1 RBI on the day out of their 4 runs, and that came on a sac fly back in the 4th inning. Other 3 runs came across on either 2 wild pitches or a balk, were the other ways they scored their runs, and nasty breaking ball there from Rivas. That starts at the head, or above the head, I should say, of Martin and breaks all the way down into the zone. Martin sees it, understands it, and is ready to read it and jump all over it, and we'll see if he can. 0-1. Takes, and the throw's going down to second. And now will go into center field. Runner heading for home, and he will score without a throw. So the decision to throw down to second proves costly. A double steal and now an error. Will play it across the 8th run of the game, and it's now the Haymakers doubling the Chills' lead by a score of 8-4. And still a chance at damage. Martin behind 1 and 2. In danger of being sent back to the dugout for the first time all day. Rivas is going to want to go with this breaking ball right here, which has been so effective. 1-2, the pitch. Goes with the breaking ball, but didn't get a grip on it. Went behind the batter and Martin. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the runner on second. I know my good buddy to my left is going to love this one. Deuces are wild. Eight runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Haymakers. The same amount of errors for the Chill. It's just been on less production offensively. 4 runs and 5 hits. Haven't seen really any production from the Chill. Got 3 runs in the first 2 innings. The Haymakers have had 8 in the last 3. That one's on the ground, fielded cleanly. The throw is there and in time, and that's out number 3. An unearned run does come across the score. That's the Chill in need of a lot here. They need 4 to tie, 5 to win, and we'll see if they can play it across a rally when we get back here to Palm Springs Stadium for the decisive bottom half of the 7th inning. Tyler Kennedy in search of what would be the save here regardless. Not a save situation by definition in this situation, the 7th inning being a 4-run game. However, this is his 3rd inning of work, so that does make him eligible for the save. And Brenton Rithkin eligible for the win. But the result's going to have to hold, and we're going to have to hold everything as there's a hit by pitch to start the bottom half of the 7th for Freeze. He'll take his sweet time getting over to first base. So not an ideal start for Kennedy. Still has the bottom half of the lineup to work with Baptista, McCarthy, and Washington. The bottom of the lineup being a combined 0 for 6 today. So if you're Kennedy, you feel this should be an inning where you get some quick outs and have a feel-good inning and an end of a feel-good outing. But he continues to attack inside, and then that one plunk him. It did. It is really starting to unravel on the mound for Kennedy. Back-to-back hit by pitches. 2 pitches, both of them have plunked batters, and that's going to force the necessary meeting on the mound. Now there's a pinch runner for Baptista. All of a sudden, that run last inning that didn't seem so major could potentially loom large. McCarthy, Washington, then the top of the order. Washington, if McCarthy's able to get on, will be the tying run. It's a game that Chill will definitely look back at, win or lose, and know that things probably should have been handled a little bit differently by them, as there's strike one. Drop fly ball is going to loom large as it should, but it wasn't the only blunder of the game that has led to potential issues. A couple outs on the base paths have caused chaos as well. And at the bottom line, it's the Haymakers have just pitched extraordinarily well down the stretch. Kennedy has been the backbone of that, not allowing anything in his first 2 innings of work. And there's back-to-back walks from Kennedy, but that came back in the 6th inning with 2 outs. Now with back-to-back hit by pitches here, really the first time he is seeing guys on the bases with less than 2 outs, and see if it causes a problem. It may. That's a base hit. That one's going to fall into center field. Everyone's going to move station to station. Now all of a sudden, the tying run is stepping up to the plate. Cameron Washington, a .480 hitter, and now we thought was going to be a visit to the mound. Instead, be quick back walk to the bucket for the coach of the Haymakers. Nobody getting loose in the bullpen, but I'm sure there's some arms up and loose that are ready to go in the field if need be. Now Washington, 0 for 2 in the game. Mentioned coming into this, the 8, 9, 10 parts of the lineup, 0 for 6 coming into this inning. Now 1 for 1 with a hit and a hit by pitch. And now it's 2-0 to Washington. Right now stands as the tying run, and if he walks, can get that tying run on the base. And that's another plunking. The 3rd hit batsman we've seen of the inning. And this will play it across the run. Tying run aboard. Go ahead run coming to the plate. And that will be the day for Kennedy. A good first 2 innings from him. But the hit by pitches became an issue and became an issue quickly here. And within 10 pitches in the 7th inning, it's become high stress and high leverage. Save situation here for the Haymakers. Will meet their closer trying to shut it down with the bases loaded when we get back. bases loaded, sacks packed with Chill. Go ahead run at the plate. And a first pitch fired in for a strike. Matthew Redonda in the top of the card here, stepping up for the Chill. And that one just misses 1-1. That one is high. 2-1. It's John Guerrero trying to slam the door here. And he is struggling with command right now. It's 3-1. It's already the top of the lineup here for the Chill. 3-1. That one right back at us. But foul. Big payoff pitch upcoming here. Baker, who was the leadoff hitter in the game, had a triple and a flyout before he was pinch hit for. Dondo a double, but was thrown out at home in his last and only plate appearance. A big spot here, the 3-2, and he lines this one to the left center field gap. That one will fall. One run is in, the second one quickly following, and he will score. First and second, nobody out. Redonda, a 2 RBI single. Chaos here in Palm Springs Stadium. Still nobody out. Said it was the Chill who needed a potential miracle to claw all the way back in this one, and they're getting that. 3 runs already here. From 8-4 to 8-7, and the tying run standing at second. The go-ahead run standing at first in Redonda. And the 2-0 hitter in Watkins takes strike one. Watkins a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk in today's ball game. For really his first piece of hard contact today, and wouldn't come at a better time than now for him. He takes that one downstairs, 1-1. So all of a sudden, it's Fazio gets no decision, and it'll be Rivas who will get the loss somehow for the Chill if this result holds. By the way, the Chill are swinging. You feel that's not how it will go, as this one is blooping, dropping fast, and will fall. Base hit. Tying run coming around to score, and will get in without a throw. The go-ahead run in Redonda into third. The Chill from the death. 4 runs. In the last of the 7th, the last inning here. And they've scored 4 unanswered with not recording a single out. And the go-ahead run standing 90 feet away. Watkins' first hit of the day is an RBI single that ties it. Now Buck, who's 1 for 3 on the day, looking to end it. Infield comes in for the Haymakers. 2 on, nobody out. As the ball gets away, runner coming around to score, and he will! The impeccable, the improbable, from the death, the impossible has happened, and the Chill, on a walk-off wild pitch, win a wild ball game. Just when it thinks they squandered the game away, they had a 3-run lead at one point. Ended up trailing by 4 in this last inning and collapsed by the Haymakers. Jubilation for the Chill as a 5-run 7th does the job and sends them home for their 7th victory. Chill improved to 7-4, and while the Haymakers will go to 3-8. we've said all year long, the second game and the final game of the day here on our PSCL YouTube channel brings you the drama, brings you the action, and brings you the fun, and certainly was delivered here today for our crew all across the booth, for Leo at the TrackMan, my producer Ethan Oliveris, and for me, Samuel Egan, signing off here from Palm Springs Stadium, hoping you can join us tonight on the Power YouTube channel as the Power come back home and look to create a new winning streak. But once again, the final here, 9-8 to Chill. Take it in an absolutely obscene game. PSCL action comes back tomorrow morning. The first game being brought to you at 9 a.m. Have a great day, everyone, and go Power.